What is happening, you wonderful people? So I just got back home from seeing Wuthering Heights, and in this film, tragedy strikes when Heathcliff falls in love with Catherine Earnshaw, a woman from a wealthy family in the 18th century England. That's all I can say without giving too much away. Let's talk about it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
So Wuthering Heights. When it comes to Wuthering Heights, I don't know the source material for Wuthering Heights. This type of movie, the genre that it is, the romance genre, that's not my genre. That's not my genre. So I kind of went into this movie seeing the trailers, but also at the same time, the trailers didn't really do anything for me. So the marketing as a whole didn't do much for me. So I kind of went in blind, and I went in not having any expectations. I went in hearing mixed things about it and went in just going, you know, if I don't really like this one, I'm not going to be shocked, but if I do like this one, I'm going to be shocked. And like I said, I don't know the source material. I know there are other movies that they made. This is another remake that they've made, and this is based off a novel too, a very, very popular novel from like the early 1900s. My mom actually just bought the book, and I like Margot Robbie, and I like Jacob Elordi. Margot Robbie has always been a fantastic actress in my opinion, and I think Jacob Elordi is a really great actor too. He's kind of a up-and-coming actor. He's been around for a while. He's been around for a few years, but he's an up-and-coming actor, and I think he's absolutely phenomenal. Every movie, show that he's in, his presence, he shines. It really does. And when it comes to the director of this movie, Emerald Fennell, I'm not too familiar with her work. This is the first movie I've seen from her. I know she did Saltburn, which I did not end up seeing. I remember when it came out a few years ago, but I just never saw it. And there's another Wuthering Heights movie that came out in 2011 that stars Kea Scodelario from the Maze Runner films, which I have never seen that one. And when it comes to the book as well, written by Emily Bronte, I've never read it. Besides comic books, I've talked about it before. I'm not the biggest reader. I'm not the biggest reader at all. I'm really not. So I went in not having any big expectations. I really didn't, and I was hoping that I would enjoy it because I want to enjoy every movie and show I watch. But I kind of went into this one blind, and I went into this one just looking at it as a movie, as someone who doesn't know the source material and as someone who doesn't know anything about this story as a whole. And I gotta say, even though it's not perfect, I walked out kind of enjoying it. I really did. So if you're new to my channel, or if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I like to talk about my positives first, then my negatives next. But even when I need to be negative, I will be positive. And even when I need to be positive, I will be negative as well. And overall, while this is not a perfect film by any means, it is not a perfect film, I'm shocked with how much I enjoyed it. Like, I walked out really enjoying it. I walked in not having any expectations. I saw the trailers. Trailers didn't really work for me. The marketing as a whole was fine. The marketing as a whole, though, didn't really work for me all that much. And I don't think I need to watch this movie again. I definitely won't go see it in the theaters. And while I didn't see it in IMAX tonight, I was planning on seeing it in IMAX, but the time that I saw it at tonight was the time that worked best to go see it. And I didn't see it in IMAX. And I feel like while I did enjoy it overall, if I did see it in IMAX, I feel like the IMAX experience obviously would have made my experience better. I would have enjoyed it more than I did. And if someone wanted to take me to go see it in the theaters with them, if they asked me, they were like, hey, do you want to go see this in the theaters with me? I've heard it's really good. I saw the trailers and I really want to go see it. I'd be like, you know what? Sure, I'd definitely go watch it with y'all. And like I said, it's not perfect by any means, and I didn't fully love it, but it's engaging enough. It really is. And, you know, I really think the production design in here is absolutely phenomenal. It's fantastic. It's absolutely, the production design is so elegant and so rich, and it definitely has a chance of winning or at least getting nominated for best production design. And I even think along with not just the production design, not just the way it looks, but every other thing about this movie, the score, whether it's the performances, and I'll talk a little bit more about those in a little bit, but I'm just kind of, mentioning them here and there right now. The score is phenomenal. The performances by Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, I know they're both fantastic actors. They are, but they knocked it out of the park in here, and they've always been good. But I think this is the best performance both of them have given, in my opinion. I really do. And it's just, I love the overall aesthetic in here, and I love the overall atmosphere. And it really reminded me, whether it's the aesthetic, whether it's the atmosphere, whether it's the cinematography or the color grading, or just how it looks in general, whether it's the colors in general, it really reminded me of a Robert Eggers film. You know, he directed Lighthouse, you know, he directed The Witch, all those type of films, Nosferatu, and the Northman. Like, it just really had that feel and vibe of a Robert Eggers film, and I love that. I absolutely love that. And it reminded me as well of a really good Broadway play. It reminded me of a really good stage play, and I loved it, along with the vibe and feel. It really reminded me of that, especially with how phenomenal the performances were in here. And it's just, the movie has great imagery. Some of the imagery in here is mind-boggling, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. And the movie's odd. It's very odd, especially with the aesthetic and how it's shot and directed. But again, it's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. And I think the score and soundtrack in here both are so epically haunting and just epically brilliant. And I really think it felt like a fever dream. It actually felt like a fever dream, and it takes you on a trip. The movie takes you on an acid trip. It does. And it just, I love the vibe and feel of the movie. The pacing was good for the most part as well. And I think there's some good dialogue here and there in here. And the story had me invested for the most part, and I really think it hooked me right in the opening, right when the movie opened, right from the get-go. Y'all know how I always talk about how a movie hooking you is one of, if not the most important things about film, movie making, and the movie hooked me. The movie hooked me, especially with how fast-paced the opening scene was. And it's not rushed. It's like a good type of fast-paced, and it really worked for me. It hooked me right away, and I knew I was in from the beginning. It is really directed beautifully, and I love the way the camera moved. And Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, their chemistry in here, their acting chemistry is so phenomenal. You actually care about the relationship, mainly in the beginning of the film, and when you see when the film progresses, their relationship starts to dwindle into chaos. It just gets crazier and crazier and crazier, and there are some things that happen in here where I'm just like, they could have left that out. They could have left that out, but that's bold. That is whoa, that's bold.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
And I really do like the overall aesthetic and atmosphere in here. It really did remind me of a Robert Eggers film, and I really was surprised at how much I really enjoyed it. And it's not perfect by any means. I didn't fully love it, but it's engaging enough, and it really does have a good chance of getting nominated for Best Production Design, Best Score, and maybe even Best Actor, maybe even Best Actress. It's super colorful and bright. The colors, the cinematography, even the color grading and set design are all very nuanced, and the movie in general is nuanced. I love the attention to detail. I think the attention to detail in here is phenomenal. It is honestly legit funny at times as well. It is legit funny at times, and it actually gave the movie personality. Like, Margot Robbie's character is Catherine is very energetic in here, and she has a good sense of humor. She brings the just craziness and the chaos, but it's funny in a way. It is funny. And I really do like the vibe and the feel of this movie overall. It really did give me a Broadway play, Robert Eggers mixed type of vibe. But overall, while I did enjoy this film, for the most part, like, I was surprised with how much I did enjoy it. I walked out going, hey, you know what? I don't know if I watched that again. I probably wouldn't watch that again. But if someone asked me if they wanted to go see it with me, if I wanted to go with them to see it, I'd say, yeah, definitely. And if it was the only thing on TV one day and I had nothing else to watch, I'd definitely watch it again. And while I did enjoy it, I do have some issues. I do have some issues with it. It's not a perfect film by any means. It does have some flaws. It's not flawless. And I think while the story did have me engaged for the most part, I was engaged with the movie more than I thought I would be. It definitely had potential. The story, the overall narrative, definitely had potential to be stronger. It's a good story. But I was watching it, I was like, yeah, I'm engaged. I'm engaged with more than I thought I would be. But it definitely has potential to be more stronger. It definitely had potential to be a tighter story. And not everything works. It's not perfect. Some emotional beats hit in here. It is a romance film. So you know some of the emotional beats are going to hit. You know, because it's a romance film, the cast and crew, they're going to make sure some of the emotional beats hit. And at times they do. At times they really do, because you really do care about our two main leads' relationship. You do. And you see how their relationship dwindles and how it goes down a rabbit hole of chaos. And some of the emotional beats hit, they do, but for the most part, I didn't really feel like they did. I didn't really feel like they hit that much. And even though the pacing is good for the most part, it definitely does start to drag when the third act hits. It's good for the most part, but I definitely felt like it was dragging. It started to drag towards the beginning of the third act until the end of the movie, and I was like, I feel like this movie's starting to overstay its welcome. And you know, you kind of know where the movie is gonna go. It's not over the top generic, it's really not. But it does have a unique spin to it, it does. But it's definitely something that you've kind of seen before, and it uses the same formula that you've seen before in all these romance films. But yeah, overall with Wuthering Heights, I walked in not having any big expectations. The trailers didn't really work for me. I didn't think the trailers were bad, but the marketing wasn't horrible either, but the marketing as a whole didn't work for me all that much, and I really didn't have any expectations for this movie. I like Margot Robbie, I like Jacob Elordi, but I was hoping I'd enjoy this because I want to enjoy every movie I see, every show I see, and I walked out really enjoying myself, surprisingly. So with Wuthering Heights, I will give this movie a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And with Wuthering Heights, I will say, dedicate your time. If you're a fan of the book like most people, if you like Margot Robbie as an actress, if you like Jacob Elordi, him as an actor, if you saw the trailers and you were over the moon excited for this, if you're a fan of the book and you've been wanting to see another adaptation made for Wuthering Heights, I think you might enjoy it. So that'll wrap up this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share this video. We just hit 1K subs a while back. We're now 1.2K. And the next big milestone is 2K and 3K after that, beyond that as well. If you're new as well, I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions, movie live streams, movie news, movie rankings, all that wonderful movie stuff under the movie umbrella. Let's talk about it in the comments down below. Did you like Wuthering Heights? Did y'all not like Wuthering Heights? Are y'all gonna go see it in the theaters? Or are y'all gonna wait to watch it on streaming? Let's talk about it down below. Keep talking movies, wonderful people. Cheers.